Welcome to the Clock Hour. This is Marv Kennel, a.k.a. I'm Not a Rapper, and I have a special guest in the building. I have my co-host, Miss Cynthia Figueroa. Welcome. Usually we see you on the Skype and everything, but now we have you in the building. Now people get to actually meet you. Know what I mean? Y'all invited me to a financial education seminar last week, which was interesting. Yeah, valid points, because that's what you do, right?
Yes, financial educator.
Financial educator.
Yes.
Can you tell us what that really entails? I'm looking at, it says financial education workshop. So you teach the workbook?
We teach it. Our organization teaches it. We have a whole platform that we follow. That's several workshops throughout the week for free. And we share this book here, Finance 101.
This one?
Yes, the blue book.
Blue book.
Saving Your Future.
Okay. I picked up on a few key points. The life insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be able to go a little bit more into detail with that? What does that mean? I understand it. I know there's a lot of people that don't have life insurance.
Yes.
That's a big factor.
Yes.
So can you explain that a little bit more?
That's why we're educating families, because life insurance is an investment. It's not just protecting your life. So that's how the generational wealth is shared. So a lot of people don't know this. So that's what we're educating on.
Like being able to borrow off of your life insurance.
Yes. Yes.
So it's
use
an
it for
investment.
whatever you want. Yeah, and it's tax advantage. People don't know there's cash value in life insurance.
Ooh.
So we
hear
protect our
that?
cars. We protect our cars and our property, but why not your life?
And you can't borrow off of your
Car,
car insurance
and your property.
and your property insurance.
Yeah, they can use that as collateral if they wanted to, but it's not the same thing.
It's not the same thing.
It's not the same thing.
And then, forgive me, but I see people in the situation where they have to use GoFundMe.
Yes, yes. That's
to-
our mission. That's our campaign.
That's your mission.
Get rid of that.
Now, what
don't need it.
organization are you with?
WSB, World System Builder. That's the platform, education platform we use.
Okay.
This right here, I'm wearing the swag. World Financial Group is our broker.
Okay.
Transamerica right here is one of our main providers that we share with families. They're protected by Transamerica.
So that's the insurance policy.
That's the insurance company, Transamerica. But they are affiliated together with World System Builder. We are all partners,
Oh.
all partnered up for the same mission.
All right, because I actually have the book in my car, and I've been looking through it, and people can actually reach out to you for a little education on it, right?
Of course, yes. I share it, I email it, share it with your family and friends. Contact me if you need the information. It's free, it's there for you to use it, apply it, learn from it, and if you want, you can actually make a living making money, passive, residual, helping other people do what you did with your own finances.
Oh.
So it works both ways.
Investments, emergency funds, debt management, protection.
That's the foundation, financial foundation concept. That's how it should be, like when you build up a house.
Right.
You start with the foundation.
Right.
That's what's gonna build it up, keep it strong. But in life, we work and we don't know really where the foundation is supposed to be. But it's your number one asset, which is what?
That's like my found money.
Number one asset really is yourself.
Oh, okay. Like my foundation is Clockwork Entertainment. That's what I call my foundation. But it's a lot to it. It just actually sitting there listening to everything, and I was like, okay, all right. Okay.
You gotta be ready for it.
Yeah, because it's a lot coming at you.
Yep.
And, me, myself, I'm not just going to jump off a bridge. But, that's why I said, well, let's talk. And then I got you up here. Usually I have you on Skype, but I got you up
Yeah.
here. I said, so now I can ask more
Have an
questions.
event
Because
for CT.
that's not all that you do.
No, it's not.
What else?
Virtual assistant. Right now I have 2 clients. So I do property management and I do administrative work. So that's separate from my finance industry.
Virtual assistant. That's like you help people do.
I just help other small businesses, really, or large businesses. I can go from bookkeeping, I can go from admin work, I can go from social media management. I have the skill set that I applied all these years working for other people that I can actually apply and hire a client. They hire me, contracted. What do you want? This is my rate. Take it or leave it. Instead of having to work for someone else with that skill set that you've been using for them this whole time.
Makes sense.
So virtual assistant is where it's at. Since COVID came, it's a lot of VAs out there, a
Right.
lot of VAs. And it was a blessing and a curse. And this became a part of my life during the pandemic. Like I followed it prior, but then once the pandemic hit and I just saw how real it was, where you really are dispensable.
Right.
And if you don't have your finances in order, your family's gonna starve.
Right.
Real talk. They're gonna starve.
I was still
and you're
working.
gonna need a GoFundMe.
Yeah, I was
When
still
people
working.
start dropping, it's real.
Yeah.
It's real.
I was
So
working. I was still working.
I was working, and then
During
I
that
took
time.
a leave, and
Yeah.
then that's when I said, you know what? I have all these demands on me. Now I gotta wear a mask to go to work. I gotta do this. I don't know if I'm gonna get sick. You know, are they gonna cover me? So you start thinking about everything.
And then insurance companies have to make adjustments when it's stuff like this comes.
Yes.
Like with the
I worked with a specialty pharmacy.
Yeah.
Everything was changing. And
Hurricane Katrina. Oh, you don't have
Everything.
flooding coverage, or you have flooding coverage, or you don't have this coverage, but you have this coverage. Oh, okay.
yeah, so the number one asset goes back to that. What is it? It's your life. So I had to take that into account when the pandemic hit, because I'm like, okay, my finances are in order, but I know there's a lot of people that are not in the position I am, and to be able to quit my job, live off of myself, and grow my businesses all at the same time, because I was building up to that.
Right.
And that goes back to this. We're not building up the right way. We're not.
So let me ask you this: when building, because you know, that's always with tax time I have this thing with my tax prepper. Great young lady and everything, but it gets frustrating because, you know, I established the company, but I want to reset. I need to reset. I really do. I want to reset and start all over, but I really don't want to reset here. You know what I mean? So
And when you say here, what do you mean exactly?
Connecticut. I don't want to establish my company in Connecticut anymore. It's no disrespect. This is my home and everything, but come on. You know, I'm a retired man, and you know, every time I look up, somebody else wants some money up here. I'm like, what are you talking about? You want more money? How you want money, man? And you know what I mean? I'm trying to level out. You know, but with everything that I do, you know, I do a lot of different things myself, but I need to bring it all into one. You know what I mean? Like I wear, you know, my hoodies and t-shirts and
swag.
everything. Yeah, that's my thing. And my shades. But, you know, I need to bring this all in. All into one. And so I may have to hire you as a virtual assistant to help me bring it all in. You know what I mean? And people can reach out to you
Yes.
about that also.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm always open to clients, and I'm able to pretty much work my own schedule. I can do this full time if I want to. I can do it part time if I want to. But I have both businesses leveraging off of each other. That way you're balanced, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you're not just stuck with one. And that's just the beginning. But until then, I'm open for clients. But my passion is in finance. I want to be full time in this.
Right.
But of course, you have to work for your money, right?
Right.
To get to where you really want to get, right? That's
Right.
building as well. So I'm using that to help me build this.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I would.
And I love it.
Yeah, like I said, it was interesting. I was like, well, wait a minute, that makes sense. And I have heard it before, but
Which
I
one?
didn't.
Which one?
About the, even with the life insurance and stuff.
Oh,
I had
yeah.
heard it before because I do a little investing here and there.
Yeah.
You hear about things and you're like, well, I'm a retired government employee, so, my benefits, they work out pretty good. But it's not like I can actually borrow off of that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Without being penalized, without being taxed.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's life insurance. It's tax advantaged. So you don't get taxed. It's your own money that you put aside. It's growing as the stock market goes up and down. Right. However it fluctuates, you never lose your money. But when you invest in other tax now, tax later solutions, those are not going to get you more ahead. Why? Because when you get taxed later, already the tax is going to be a higher rate.
Right.
So invest your money now while the tax is low, and use it when you want to later without having to worry about what the tax is or not.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. I agree with you.
Yeah. We want to educate families on diversifying their financial portfolio, because if they don't do that, then they're either in the low or in the high. But when you diversify it, you're always going to be good.
One thing will pay for the other.
Yeah, you're always going to be good. That's just like me having 2 LLCs. Uh-huh. You're always going to be good.
Right.
Because you're bouncing off each other.
Okay. So if one come up short, the other one's growing.
Exactly. So it works the same way. Everything should be diversified in life, period, is how I feel about it. So my livelihood is diversified. Mm-hmm. My financial portfolio is diversified. So I know I'm going to be good regardless. So if you put too much on one, then you lose opportunity in other things, right?
Right.
So it works the same way in life.
So
I have to back one thing up with another.
Right. So how would you explain that to someone who doesn't feel they have the money to set up
a policy? A life insurance policy?
Yeah.
That's where the workshops come in.
Right.
We
do virtual workshops also, right?
Exactly. They're virtual and they're live in the offices. We have over 300 offices in the country.
Okay.
And we're in Canada. So we're all throughout the country. This is a financial literacy campaign to educate 30 million families by 2030. That's the mission. That's the campaign here, financial literacy campaign.
Y'all hear that?
Yes.
I hope they hear that.
There's already been 1 million impacted since 2020, but they made that goal more aggressive now. Like, let's get everybody educated. Everybody should have this. That's how important it is.
All right.
That the whole country is involved, even Canada. We're on a mission.
And you're normally in Florida.
Yes.
You're from Connecticut.
Relocated, yep. 7 years.
Relocated. Just up and said, I'm out. See you later.
And I was working for Yale for 14 years. So I left with my pension. I left with my 403B. Now I have a 401k just working in Florida. Mm-hmm. But now I have a Roth IRA. I can say I have a life insurance policy. It's so diversified that I know I can retire when I want to because I set it up early. Mm-hmm. A lot of people didn't do that. I was always conservative with my money, but I always was passionate about helping other people with theirs. So
it really doesn't take that much to get in there.
No. The workshops are there to help people that have debt, that don't know how to grow their money, that don't know how to manage their money,
right?
Don't know how to invest their money. Whatever it is that has to do with money, are in those workshops.
Because I put money here,
intimidating,
money there, money
but
there.
People are intimidated by the word finance.
Right.
But it's only teaching you how money really works.
So let me ask you a question. What would be the risk?
There's no risk to educate yourself, first of all, because we're financial educators. We don't call ourselves insurance agents, and that's for a reason.
Right.
We're building a relationship with you. What do you need? Okay, well, here's the resource. Use it. It's up to you to apply it. When you need my help, let me know. And that's that's our approach. We're educating you. There's no loss in that.
Okay.
You're going to realize after you educate yourself, wow, I need to put that in order. Wait a minute, I didn't know capital gains if I sell a house are going to be taxed. Yeah. So I can invest that in an IUL, a life insurance policy where it's not taxed at all. we have to have control of our money, because if not, we're going to have less of it. So we have to know how to use it.
Right.
Yeah. That inflation is real.
Oh, yeah.
It's real. So how you going to keep up with it 10 years from now if you didn't have your money keeping up with it? It's the same thing.
Makes sense.
It's the same. Keep up with the inflation, because if not, you're always going to be trying to make the next move.
Yeah.
It's
And
that
that gets
simple.
tiring.
And that's that simple. That's why I will be retiring early. I'm setting myself up for that.
Okay.
So I love teaching people about passive money, residual money, how the money works for you. You don't have to work for it. And I can say I'm speaking and living in that.
And this is free.
It's all free. It's all free. We do personal financial strategies. We look at your assets, your liabilities, your monthly expenses, tell you your net worth, what your cash flow is, if you're in the negative and the positive, how to get out of it, how to increase it. Everything is in those workshops. But we offer that for free. So you're not losing at all. You're not wasting your time. You're going to walk out of there knowing like, wow, I thought about this all my life, but it's just, when you think about finances, it's intimidating. When they offer you a 401k at the job, you don't even know what it means really. So people don't do it.
It's an investment.
But people don't do it. Some people don't know. And they're intimidated by it. Like, you want my money to put it where? And I don't know what's going to happen with it? That's taxed later.
Because even
you should be hesitant doing that one more than you would something that will never be taxed.
Like with the unions and everything, they're taking your money, and even banks. Like we talked about banks before.
Banks are just there to hold your emergency fund. That's it.
And then they don't want to give you no loans or nothing.
The bank is just there to
play middleman to your money.
Exactly, that's it. Nothing else. They're not really there for us.
No.
They're
there for them.
Yes.
I don't know. That I find it interesting, and I hope the audience, find it interesting, and her contact information will be out there. And you look at it, and it's almost like there's so much that people don't know. Like where I used to work at, there was a lady who came in, and she was telling me all different things. Look, this is how people keep their money. People buy off of their companies, LTDs, LLCs, they buy through their company. One company pays the other company, and the other company, their money never hits the floor, so it's not taxed. Like when the last administration gentleman they pulled up his tax record and he paid so less. He taught them something. If they weren't paying attention.
Yeah.
He taught you something.
I can go to businesses and do the same thing. Like I can come to a nail salon, restaurant, build a relationship with the owners of the business and let them know what I do, because then I could tell them, you know what?
Right.
How much money did you make last year? How much did you pay in taxes?
Right.
And they're going to be like, yeah, I paid a lot in taxes last year. Okay, well, I can help you so you won't have to pay all that tax at the end of the year. Put your money before you file in IRA. Put it somewhere where now your taxable income has been lowered automatically.
Makes sense.
Automatically. You're paying less tax. We're giving money away, y'all. We're giving the money away. And this is just the beginning. We're now doing Social Security analysts for free, where we can tell you how much more money you can get if you let them know, the administration, that, I actually have more rights to my money than what you're giving me.
Right.
And we do it for free.
Yeah.
We're helping people that are about to retire get more Social Security, because Social Security Administration is not going to tell you how to get more out of them.
Right, because...
And we're doing this for free. That's why I love what I do.
I retired at 51, which was good.
Mine is 50, and I'm 40. I want to be 45 retired, so I'm being aggressive.
You got to do what you got to do. I had met a lady in Virginia. She worked for the Pentagon. She says, the key to retiring is not to have no debt. Get rid of all your debt before you retire. She said, you're good. Then you can do what you want to do with your money.
Yeah, you don't have to think about it.
Right.
So
it makes sense, because I was asked, you really going to retire now? I said, yeah, you don't see I got wings tucked up under my uniform. I wore a uniform for 20 years. I said, I got wings tucked up under here. I'm ready to fly, man. I got things to do.
That's how I felt when I left. And now I see why you say you don't want to do it here.
Right. And one thing even also is like, I say here because there's a lot of different factors
Play a
that
part,
you're paying
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Like I hit a pothole on my way here.
Oh boy.
And
Back to the pothole.
yeah, that's gonna
Back to the
always be in
potholes.
there. That's gonna always be in there. Cause I'm like, wait a minute.
Always
And then
come back to the
you're coming
potholes.
down the street. Okay, you got a car here, and I'm coming up. He's way over here. And then if you get to the top of the street, there's cars right there at the corner, so you really can't see.
Can't avoid it.
Yeah. So you really gotta really be cautious when you're riding around.
You
here.
done. You over it.
Yeah.
You over
This
it.
is
I
like,
get
come
it.
on.
I get it. You over it.
Yeah. Like,
I got over the blizzards. I'm over it.
Yeah, that too.
I'm over
I
the blizzard.
I totaled the car.
Oh man.
I mean, I was creeping along 35, 45, and I got to a point, and all of a sudden the car took off and started spinning. I didn't realize I was spinning until I was all the way around the first time. I spent a couple of times, then slid backwards into the guardrail. I didn't realize I was spinning. It was so quiet, and it was like I hit a patch. Like everything else was smooth all the way until I got here. The first exit. I said, oh. Man. Then he says,
The
you were
first
going too
exit.
fast for conditions. How do you know that? When me sitting up against the guardrail, another minivan came through and did the same thing, but he got a chance to spin
that
out of
happened
his.
to me. That
Yeah,
happened to
that's
me.
crazy.
Right on Edward Street, Yale campus, going
See?
down the hill. It spun out once.
Right.
Whew.
See? But
I'm over it.
yeah, I mean, they totaled the car. I was like, okay, cool. But I was like, you can tell that the highway gets different the closer you get here. I worked out in Danbury, and
You was
even the
traveling.
streets. I leave here, streets is horrible. I get to Danbury, it's all clear and everything, cool. But it's a lot
Yeah,
of
you
factors.
over
Really,
it.
just it's irritating. So I'm plotting my course. I'm really
Yeah.
plotting my course.
You need to. We should always be reinventing ourselves, elevating,
Right.
going with the times, like
Well, some
adjusting, adapting to the changes, because everything's
Exactly.
changing. Everything's
yeah,
changing.
and
And
I'm
you
in-
gotta adapt and find your spot where you belong now.
right.
You don't have to stay put. And
Right.
you don't have to, work until you're 65,
And I don't.
67, 70. You don't have to work that long if you know what you want out of life.
Okay.
That's what this is.
Preach.
We help with people's goals. We
Right.
ask you, what's your life goals? Okay, we're going to help you get there. But if you don't talk about it and you don't do anything about it, then you're going to be stuck. The next generation is going to be stuck. The next generation is going to be stuck. That's vicious cycle.
Right.
Let's get out of it.
I be in the
Let's
schools.
get out of it.
I'll be in the schools now, so it's like a little unique.
Yeah, let's get out of it.
Yeah. I mean, at times, even with, I always say with platforms such as these, you listen. And my thing is the interest, bringing interesting people on board to educate or even elevate the people. So with me, I'm just maneuvering until I could really sit in my backyard and really not do anything, But I'll be in the schools and the phones and everything is right here. But it's still, for some reason, it's not educating them. And I don't get it.
It's distraction. It's all a distraction.
Like I almost hit somebody last night. They cutting across the parking lot.
distraction.
And they're on their phone. They're not even looking.
Yeah, that's the top reason for deaths now.
And I'm like, pay attention. I'm looking at the young lady out of the corner of my eye. I said, she gonna keep going, huh? And she kept going. So I had to hit the brakes on her. I'm like, pay attention. Then she looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm not crazy. You just walked out in front of a moving car looking at your phone.
Yeah.
She knew what direction she was going in, but that was it.
Yeah.
She didn't know what was going on around there. And that's like, I always announce to each class, I said, you have a super computer in the palm of your hand, but yet still you know nothing.
It goes back to this though, because this is
Right.
virtual. This is live. There's
Right,
no excuse
right,
for
right.
anyone to say that they cannot access this information.
Right, right, right. And it's unique because you're like, okay, but as long as we can continue to do what you and I are doing, we're gonna roll. We're gonna be all right. Definitely gonna be all right. I enjoy this. This is my
You
thing.
have to live. You have to live
Yeah.
happy. Like
I'm-
we're here to serve a purpose. Just
Right.
figure it out and follow it. Follow your
Right.
heart. Like you know why you're here. Follow it.
Right.
Follow
Dig
it.
So let the people know what we're about anyway.
For the people, by the people, about the people.
Bingo. And that's our show for today. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Thank you ahead of time. Greatly appreciated your wealth of information. And they will
I'm
be
ready.
seeing you again.
I'm ready.
From
Contact
the-
me.
Yeah. Contact her. All her contact information, I'll have it. Y'all can reach out to her. Thanks for tuning in. This is Marv Kennel and Miss Cynthia.
Peace.
The Klock Hour. Peace.